Welcome to the Chronicles, where we uncover the stories behind the symptoms. In each episode, we explore a different medical condition, diving into its causes, symptoms, treatments, and the real-life experiences of those affected. Whether it's a rare disorder or a common illness, our goal is to raise awareness, sharing expert insights, and bringing hope through knowledge. This is your trusted guide through the complex world of health and healing. Today we're diving into a significant health challenge affecting millions of people around the world, schistosomiasis, also known as bilharzia. This neglected tropical disease, or NTD, is caused by parasitic worms and is most prevalent in areas with poor sanitation and limited access to clean water. Schistosomiasis is a parasitic disease caused by blood flukes from the Schistosoma genus. These worms are primarily found in sub-Saharan Africa, but they also affect regions in South America, the Middle East, Southeast Asia, and the Caribbean. These areas typically have high-risk populations, children who play in contaminated water, agricultural workers, fishermen, and even people who do household chores like washing clothes or fetching water from polluted sources. There are several species of schistosoma responsible for the disease, and the species that infects someone depends on the region they live in. Let's break it down. Schistosoma haematobin is found in Africa and the Middle East, and it primarily affects the urinary tract. Schistosoma mansoni is common in Africa, South America, and the Caribbean, and it impacts the intestines and liver. Schistosoma japonicum is found in China and the Philippines, and it affects both the intestines and liver. Lastly, there are some more localized species like S. intercalatum and S. mcconnelli, which are finely intestinal. How does someone get infected with schistosomiasis? The transmission cycle is pretty interesting. It all starts when eggs from infected humans are released into water through urine or feces. These eggs hatch into larvae called Marasidia, which then infect freshwater snails. Inside the snails, the larvae develop into Ceraseriae, which are then released back into water. Humans come into contact with infested water, the Ceraseriae can penetrate their skin, beginning the cycle all over again. Once inside the human body, the worms mature into adults and travel through the bloodstream, often ending up in organs like the liver, intestines, or bladder. Now let's talk about the symptoms of schistosomiasis. There are two main stages, acute and chronic. During the acute phase, also called Katayama fever, symptoms include fever, cough, abdominal pain, diarrhea, and high esophageal count in blood. If left untreated, schistosomiasis can lead to chronic infection. This stage often involves more severe symptoms, including blood in the urine for those infected with S. haematobin, abdominal pain, and diarrhea. Some people also experience bad liver and spleen enlargement, fibrosis in the bladder or intestines, and kidney damage. For people infected with S. haematobin, there's also an increased risk of developing bladder cancer. Children are especially vulnerable as chronic infection can lead to growth and cognitive delays. Diagnosis schistosomiasis can be done through several methods. The most common is microscopy, where healthcare providers look for parasite eggs in a patient's urine or stool. There are also serological tests that can detect antibodies and antigen tests that can detect circulating antigens from the parasite. In some cases, PCR is used to detect the parasite's DNA, though this is more common in research. For chronic cases, doctors may use ultrasound or imaging to check for organ damage, especially in the liver, spleen, or bladder. Luckily, schistosomiasis is treatable. The primary medication used is praziquantel, which is effective against all species of schistosoma. It's usually given in a single dose, though there are some individuals who may need repeat treatments if they are reinfected. Unfortunately, there is no vaccine available yet, though research is ongoing. The challenge, however, is that reinfection is common, especially if there aren't any improvements in water sanitation and hygiene. Preventing schistosomiasis largely comes down to improving access to clean water and sanitation. Safe water access like clean wells or piped water is essential to reduce the risk. Other important prevention strategies may include mass drug administration (MDA) programs in endemic areas where medications are distributed to entire communities even if they aren't showing symptoms. Snail control using molicides or biological control methods can also help stop the spread. Health education is another crucial part of the solution. Educating communities can avoid contaminated water, and proper hygiene practices can significantly reduce infections. In addition to its toll it takes on health, schistosomiasis causes long-term disability and contributes to anemia, leading to reduced productivity in both schools and workplaces. And of course, there's a significant economic burden due to healthcare costs and lost labor, which perpetuates the cycle of poverty. Unfortunately, schistosomiasis is still considered a neglected disease and research funding remains limited. This lack of resources makes it harder to tackle the root causes of disease like access to safe water and sanitation. Another challenge is that reinfection is common in areas where water and sanitation improvements haven't been made, and while Prozenquil remains the primary treatment, drug resistance is a growing concern. Efforts are underway to develop a vaccine, but it's a complex challenge that will take time and funding to address. Thanks for watching today's episode of The Cure Chronicles. If you're passionate about learning more and making a difference in the world of health, don't forget to check out our podcast, Heal the World Presents The Cure Chronicles, where we dive into real stories and deep insights about medical illnesses and diseases, one condition at a time, or Heal the World Presents Med Talks, featuring real conversations with doctors, nurses, and medical professionals on the front lines of healthcare. You can find both shows on most streaming platforms. Join us as we heal the world one story at a time.